We have the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, OTUNBA ADEBAYO, joining us right now live. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. Very quickly, I'm of course with my colleague, Bosun Omofaya of Rise Exchange. I want to get your thoughts, sir. Honorable Minister, what are your thoughts on this appointment of Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the new Director General of the World Trade Organization?
Thank you very much. As the Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment for Nigeria, I am indeed very, very pleased. It has been a long journey. First of all, I must thank His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari for his foresight in insisting that we nominate Dr. Okonjo-Iweala as the Director General for the WTO. As many of you may be aware, Nigeria had previously nominated somebody for that position. But Mr. President, in his wisdom, decided that he wanted Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala for that position and insisted that we withdraw the previous nomination and nominate her to represent Nigeria. With the result that we have attained today, it is obvious that Mr. President was right, and we are thankful that the candidate of Nigeria has emerged. It is a thing of pride for us as Nigerians that a Nigerian, not only in Nigeria, for the first time in the history of the WTO, an African is occupying that position. And not only is it an African for the first time, it's also the first time a woman will occupy that position. And for that person to be a Nigerian, I believe is something of pride for all Nigerians.
Thank you so much, sir. Boss, you have a question for the Minister?
Yes, Honorable Minister, I think what leadership does to you is that it throws a burden on you, a burden of responsibility to perform. So, now that we have a Nigerian as the head of the WTO, all eyes and attention more will focus on Nigeria's own trade policies, because we can't have our own individual person in the person of the Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala as the head of the WTO without putting our own trade policies and house in order. So, what responsibilities does this place on Nigeria's shoulder to make sure that it takes its own rightful place when we talk about trade policies within the Africa space to start with?
I believe Nigeria's position in the African space is not in doubt. As you're aware, we have signed and we have ratified the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, which has already gone into play. We are a leading player in the regional body, the ECOWAS. So Nigeria's position as the leading economy in Africa is already in play. We will continue to work hard to see to it that we have an all-encompassing trade policy. The trade policy that Nigeria had been operating in the past has expired, and we are in the process, it's about to expire, and we're in the process of putting in place a new trade policy, which is being worked on at the moment. We are hopeful that within the next few months, we will be able to take it to the Federal Executive Council for approval, and that is what we will be working on for the next few years. You can rest assured, Nigeria's ambition, now that we have one of us as the DG of the World Trade Organization, Nigeria's ambition is to play on the world stage. We are outgrowing Africa. We want to play with the biggest in the world.
Fantastic. Honorable Minister, thank you so much. Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has a lot on her plate to deal with as the new Director General of the World Trade Organization. In your view, what are the quick wins that you think can be ticked off as she begins her journey?
Well, to be honest, I don't want to take the wind out of her sail, because I'm sure that immediately the meeting is over, she will be given a press conference. So I would like to leave that to her to say. She's already said a lot in her acceptance speech. I don't want to take away from her, so I will leave that question to her, if you don't mind. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, if you permit me to go back to your comment on the new trade policy being ironed out for Nigeria, what will be the kernel, the heart of it, of this new trade policy? What will it encompass in terms of moving Nigeria forward? Yes, we're the biggest economy on the continent, but in terms of trade, you and I know that, Honorable Minister, with due respect, that we're not a game changer when it comes to Africa. Well,
the whole idea of us being part of the African Continental Free Trade Area is for Nigeria to be a game changer. We are going to take advantage of that agreement. We are opening up Nigeria, especially in terms of manufacturing. As you're aware, the rules of origin are such that you cannot bring in goods from other countries and pass them off as having been manufactured in your country in Africa. So what we're trying to do now is to create Nigeria as the manufacturing hub for Africa. We are spending a lot of money on infrastructure for our our special economic zones, whereby there will be mass investment in manufacturing, such that we will be that game changer. We will have the goods manufactured here that will be sold, that will be traded all over Africa.
Thank you so much for that, Minister. Just to piggyback on Bosun's question there. Power has so much of a huge role to play when it comes to manufacturing. Are there, I mean, in your view, is that something that is top of the list priority for your ministry as well as liaising with the others with respect to power and getting manufacturing where it needs to be?
Indeed, it is. If you notice that the country has presently come up with this idea of independent power plants. What we are doing in my ministry is that for all our special economic zones, we will have independent power plants, which will be gas-powered to provide electricity for those plants. Right now, the federal government is looking at the issue of solar power, such that what we have on the national grid will be a lot of what is on the national grid that is being used for individual homes will be passed on to the solar power, and then the power that would have been going to individual homes will be transferred to industry. The whole idea is to make sure that there is more than enough power for industries to operate maximally so that they can produce the goods, employ the people, and trade the goods all over Africa.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, OTUNBA ADEBAYO. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us on, of course, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala's historic appointment as the Director General of the World Trade Organization and, of course, Nigeria's role in trade in the future. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister.